The San Francisco 49ers added another piece to the protection up front for quarterback Brock Purdy. Will they intend to protect him this year? We shall see. Tell you what, stick around because on today's episode of the Wayne Breezie Show, we're going to look at Brock Purdy's protection. And what do you think the 49ers value more, run blocking or pass protection? Smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and stick around for the Wayne Breezie Show. What's going on, 49er faithful? It's your boy, the Wayne Breezie, back for another edition of the Wayne Breezie Show, episode 275. Shout out to everybody that's watching Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, a.k.a. we still call it Twitter around here. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Early shout outs to those that are members of the Breezy Bunch crew. Peachy in the building. Good afternoon, Breezy and the Faithful Chit Chat. Have an amazing show. Jax Knox, hey Wayne and Faithful, have a great show. Like and subscribe on your way in. I see 49ers _ throwback in the building. Shout out to all the Breezy Bunch members out there. Now listen, if you are new to this channel, it's your first time watching because YouTube is doing the damn thing as far as pushing this as one of the greatest 49er shows of all time. Sports shows of all time, actually. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. If this is your first time watching, also make sure that your notifications are set and they're on, right? You don't want them off because you never know when I'm going live, even though there's a schedule presented in the description of the show, all right? You never know I'm going live. Also, you just don't want to miss out on anything that I got going on here on the Wayne Breezie channel. So make sure you guys do that. Put your notifications on. Also, don't forget to hit that like button. We know what that like button does. And if you want to support the channel, you love what you see here, you love the content that's flowing out, daily, make sure you guys go ahead, become a member of the Breezy Bunch crew, all right? And for the low $1.99, you will support this channel and everything that it has to bring and has to offer in the near future, all right? We got a lot of stuff to get to. We got the schedule release coming up this upcoming month in May. OTAs will be kicking off toward the end of May. Like, there's just a lot to talk about when it comes to the San Francisco 49ers. I'm excited. I'm gonna give myself a round of applause for just being damn excited. I don't know about you. Drop the touchdown sound too, the fog on for sure. Eddie G and the B-Dogs, what's going on, man? Love the members of the Breezy Bunch crew. Appreciate you. Betty C. Flowers, happy Wednesday. I see people out there. Shout out to everybody on Facebook too, man. You guys, the community on Facebook is definitely growing strong, and I truly appreciate you, even though you won't join the YouTube community. But listen, Facebook, love you, all right? Love you, Facebook. Love you, love you, love you. All right, look. The 49ers, they continue to, do things to, in my opinion, improve. And one of the areas that we're going to discuss on today's episode, and I'm not going to be before you long. I mean, this, one of the areas that I want to, really express concern in is with the San Francisco 49ers, the offensive line. I think the offensive line deserves some attention. All right, deserves some attention. Now, for those that don't know, the San Francisco 49ers agreed to terms, and I don't have the terms as of yet, but they agreed to terms with an offensive lineman, former first-round pick by the Arizona Cardinals, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. DJ Humphries, all right? So he was drafted 2015 was his draft year, or 2016 is when he played. He was a first-round pick. He was the 24th pick of that, the first round, ran a 5.12, 6'5", 307. He's 31 years old. And he won't be 32 until December, so he just turned 31. So the Niners, they get a little reassurance, in my opinion, up front, bringing in another offensive lineman. And, a lot of us feel like the Niners didn't address the offensive line in the draft. And it's something about the Niners trusting some of these young players to come in and really kicking off and kicking the tires and getting going. I feel like they kind of go that veteran route, depending on what position they're looking to replenish, fill, whatever. And the Niners lost, to me, some key pieces to the offensive line in free agency. They lost Aaron Banks, they lost Jalen Moore to free agency, and so how would they replenish, I guess, those particular players as far as what they provide for the San Francisco 49ers? Because they were depth pieces, and when they had the opportunities to start, they came in. Aaron Banks was a starter, but Jalen Moore, swing tackle. I felt like that's what he developed into. Then he became the starting tackle for the Niners, and he did a pretty daggone good job, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? He did a pretty damn good job. And so, when you think about the San Francisco 49ers, it's like, I think what I'm starting to understand, and this is just my take, I'm starting to realize that the 49ers offense isn't built like the majority of the offenses of the NFL. Like, we expect the 49ers to invest in the line. You got a quarterback, protect the quarterback, protect, right? And I think the Niners, just looking at the way they've been constructing their team, clearly they don't put emphasis on the offensive line, right? Like, it's just not their thing. You've heard Chris Forrester talk about what type of players he likes. He's not expecting those big-time players, things like that, right? And so I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean you're not expecting those big-time players? Like, why not invest in some of the top of the tier talent from the offensive line, right? Why not invest in that? Like, I don't understand that. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. And the Niners do get opportunities to do that. Now, you go back to that, 2018 draft? Let me pull up my data. If you go back to that 2018 draft, I believe that was the draft. The last time they drafted an offensive line man in the first round, I feel like that was Mike McGlinchey, right? I'm just looking for my data, so don't mind me. For some reason, I had it labeled. Now I'm not seeing it. 49ers draft. Nope, that's not it. Man, I got a lot of charts here. Lots of charts. But when I go back and I look at that draft, I'm like, wow, man, the Niners, the last time they drafted an offensive lineman in that first round was, 2018, I believe, right? Mike McGlinchey. And he's no longer here. We got our first Super Chat contribution of the day. Jax Knox says, thank you for the Super Chat contribution first and foremost. Second, keep up the great work that you do. Big things are about to happen for you. And I appreciate that. Thank you, Jax, for the Super Chat contribution. You're just, thank you. Appreciate you. All right. And so I'm still looking for this damn data. Like, why can't I figure out what my data is? Like, I know oh, here it is. All right. So 2018, first round, pick number 9, Mike McGlinchey, tackle. Now, I think the Niners, for some reason, won't address certain positions unless they really need to. So you got to look at the Niners depth chart, and we'll talk a little bit more about DJ Humphries and hopefully what he can add. He is coming off of, I think, the second year after the injury, because his last year he was with the Chiefs and didn't play much with the Chiefs. So we'll look at him. But just thinking of what the Niners have, I have, before DJ Humphries, 16 offensive linemen currently on the depth chart. Like, that's what I have. Let me just double check my notes. Okay. 16. That's a lot. That's a lot, because only 5's taking up spots, and then you're not doubling up with 5 more offensive linemen. Maybe we do go 10 offensive linemen. That's actually a question. How many offensive linemen do you think the 49ers go with on their roster? You can only have 53. If you take 10 offensive linemen, that leaves you with 43, plus your quarterback. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting to see. All right, so as far as the offensive line, here's who I have for the 49ers so far. Tackles, Trent Williams, Austin Pleasance, Jalen McKenzie, Colton McKivitz. So I feel like the starting guys, Trent Williams, Colton McKivitz, you know what I mean? I think those are your bookends. Those are your tackles. Those are the guys that's been rocking with you. And I could dig it. Like, you know what I mean? I'm actually cool with it, you know? I'm actually cool with those guys. If Colton McKivitz is the starter this year, I'm cool with it. Can we look to upgrade? Yeah, but are we? No, right? Because offensive line, for those that don't know, it's all about continuity. It's all about continuity. And if we go off of statistics, like the worst thing for me that Colton McKivitz struggled with last year were penalties. I think that was his biggest knock because he blew up so many plays. And we'll talk more in depth about the offensive line later on as we go. Training camp, once training camp kicks off, we'll talk about the battles and things like that. But I just wanted to touch on the offensive line for 2025 because I think the 49ers have a pretty decent offensive line built for their team, like how they want to run football, right? I'm not saying it's the greatest. Those aren't my words. I'm just saying as far as the San Francisco 49ers and how they want to run football, I feel like the 49ers offensive line is going to fit, bearing health, obviously, right? Like, because, damn, can we get the 49ers offensive line healthy for a change? Can we get a healthy Trent Williams? Can we get a healthy everybody? Can everybody just be healthy for a change? I was going through grades, and I was just like, man, like pass blocking, we're going to look at that. I was like, man, the Niners weren't that great. Overall, they weren't that great. You had your one outlier. You had, and I'm just thinking about the front of starting tackles. You had your one outlier, and then boom, 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 boom. Like, damn, like a lot of low grades, pressures, a lot of pressures given up. You know what I mean? And I think that's what affects grades, and I think penalties hurt these players a lot more. Who do you think led the team in penalties from the offensive line? I should have did that as a poll question, but I'm going to ask call and response, and I'll give you the choices. Was it Trent Williams, Colton McKivitz, Dominic Pooney, or Jake Brendel? Trent Williams, Colton McKivitz, Dominic Pooney, or Jake Brendel? Put your answers in the live chat. Shout out to Oscar. Run blocking is primary. Kyle tends to draw up quick hitters for the pass game. We'll talk about that as first, but that's that's like right on the bell of where I'm going to end up going. You know what I mean? Right on the bell. Shout out to the mods. Eric, what's going on? Kylie, what's good? You know what I'm saying? Mark says that's why I don't understand the poll results. Did you guys watch the basketball season? What am I missing? This is interesting. Did I give Banks? Did I say Aaron Banks? I don't think I said Aaron Banks, Gabriel. But Kali says Brendel. 49er Jeff, what's going on, bro? Says Jake Brendel. Let's see if I get any other answers. Jax, Brendel. 3 for Brendel. You know what? Brendel was the right answer. It was Jake Brendel. It was 10 penalties. 10 penalties. And I was talking about the tackle position because Colt McKivitz was actually second. Oh, no, excuse me. Colt McKivitz was not second. Dominic Pooney was second. Believe it or not, it was Pooney. So if you go, it's Jake Brendel with 10. It's Dominic Pooney with 7. It's Colt McKivitz with 6. And it's Aaron Banks and Trent Williams tied with 5. Trent Williams tied with 5. Now, one more question, because we talk about the offensive line, and thank you for participating. I think the question was, which offensive lineman led the team in penalties, Eric? Which offensive lineman led the team in penalties? You know what I'm saying? So that was the question. And because the penalties, in my opinion, hindered the offensive line more than anything. Did guys miss or allow pressures? For sure. Did guys miss blocks? Absolutely. But it was those penalties because it would be big games. It would be first downs. Next thing you know, it gets called back. It would be touchdowns. Touchdowns. And they get called back because of a legal man down the field, a holding call, legal whatever, hands to the face. I don't know. Whatever it was, I don't have the context of the penalties. I just have the numbers. But my point is, they would negate big explosive plays. You know, I love me some explosive plays. I do a whole show on the Patreon. You go to patreon.com and you could check out my explosive play shows, which I'm going to be bringing a smaller version this upcoming season to the YouTube community. So if you're on the YouTube, you're going to get my top explosive plays, way more in depth on the Patreon for sure, but maybe my top 3, top 4, top 5 explosive plays this year, offensively and then defensively. So you'll get a couple of extra videos. But look, those were killing me for sure. Like 1,000% killing me for sure. Guys, don't forget to check out my partners over at residency.com. Use the promo code SFBreezy and you can save on your total purchase. I'm rocking the Alameda hat today. I hope I said that right. Today, that's what I'm rocking for sure. All right. So make sure you guys go ahead and check that out. Okay. And, let me know what you guys think. All right. Let me know what you guys think. Use that promo code 1000%. Okay. Do not, use that promo code. Okay. Now I got some updates for the 49ers. We'll get back into the show for sure. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I do appreciate that. If you guys want the updates, let's go ahead and get that. And I'll scroll it. I won't scroll it on the bottom. I'll just talk about it real quickly, quack, quack, quack. All right, so 49er updates for off-season. You got rookie minicamp. I know people were asking me when was rookie minicamp, and I'll go through the list of the rookies that I have so far that are attending. I believe it's currently updated, so bear with your bro, Breezy. All right, I believe it's currently updated, so I believe I have several players. But rookie minicamp, May 9th through May 10th. I told you May is going to be a busy month. May 9th through May 10th. OTAs are the end of the month, May 27th through the 28th. Then May 30th, June 2nd through the 3rd, and then June 5th is when mandatory camp starts. That's when the money kicks in. If you miss that, you're going to start getting fined. And June 5th ends mini camp, I think the OTAs, and then mandatory mini camp, my apologies, kick off June 10th through the 11th. All right, so I believe those are the dates right now. Also, don't forget, May 14th is the schedule release date for the NFL. Can't wait to see which games get scheduled. We get to guess the primetime games. That's going to be a fun episode. As far as rookie minicamp, I said I wanted to go. We got linebacker Ty French from West Virginia, defensive back Jack Howell from Colorado State, linebacker Tristan Sinclair from Stanford, tight end Bentley Hanshaw, the only tight end, too, by the way, that the 49ers seem to be interested in this offseason. Bentley Hanshaw from Liberty, offensive lineman John Campbell from Tennessee, kicker Kenneth Alamanderes from University of Louisiana, safety Jonathan McGill from SMU, defensive tackle Elijah Hills from Wisconsin, long snapper, that's right, John Weeks will not be the only long snapper competing, Jordan Silver from Arkansas for those that are from Arkansas. I just don't understand why we don't pronounce it Arkansas, because it's spelled Arkansas, like Arkansas, like right, or whatever. There's no W. Anyway, defensive end Eric Phillips from Cincinnati, running back Nick Ostimo from Montana. Wow, another Montana player. They drafted Junior Bergens, and now they got a running back in here from Montana, and the defensive lineman Daquan Deuce, I think that's how you say his name, or Deuce, or Douse, because Mouse, Daquan Douse, maybe that's how you say his name. I hope I got it right. But those are the off-season dates, and as that list fulfills itself, I'll talk a little bit more about those players as well, and much, good luck to the guys invited to the 49ers rookie mini camp, which again kicks off this upcoming May 9th through May 10th. That's going to be exciting to watch, to see. Tariq Owens, if you guys want to know, I think he's currently on the 49ers practice squad. I can't wait till we break down the wide receivers. But back to the offensive line for 2025. 2025. Let's talk about DJ Humphries a little bit, because I'm a little bit like, if he's healthy, if Humphries is healthy, will he be the starting? Would he start opposite Trent Williams? All right, look, Trent Williams starting left tackle. Humphries, former left tackle, but did play on the right side. All right, did play on the right side. I don't want people to think, no, he could play on the right side. You know what I mean? Will he play right tackle is the question. At this point, I'm thinking he just won a job. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he just looking to work. Like, right? He got a job with the Niners. And the will he play on the right side? I'm gonna go with a hell yeah. Because this kid, he's getting an opportunity. Again, former first round pick, 31 years old, so he is aged up there, but he's experienced. I think that, is important when it comes to a Kyle Shanahan offensive line. Now, I'm going to do my damnedest best to look up his workout, because I'm curious to know what his 10-yard split was. And then we'll talk a little bit about his injury and how that might affect. Now, if I'm not mistaken, if I have the injury history correct, I believe he was injured 2 years ago, and then last year was kind of like, he didn't play much last year, just looking at the statistics. But I wonder, like, how usually a player, when they tear their ACL, that first year they come back from it, it's kind of ginger-ish. You know what I'm saying? They don't really play. They're not the same. And then that next year, which will be this year, if he makes this roster, will be the year after the ACL injury, after the return of the ACL injury, when they kind of feel more confident mentally, physically. And so we'll see what happens, with that. I wish I could find his 10-yard split. His 40 time was 5.12. And so if I could find that 10-yard split, let's see if I can find it. I'm curious to know if it's in the 170, 10-yard split. All right, 10-yard split, 181. According to mockdraftable.com, 10-yard split, 181. It's not Niner-esque. 3-cone drill, 787. He's a strong dude, though. I tell you that. Strong dude. And just looking at the history of him, if you go back to his rookie season, he had his best years his second year, just looking based off of grades in 2020. Didn't really care much about him because he's an op, right? Don't really care about this guy. But if you look at these snaps, where he played the most snaps, that's kind of like where I'm going at. 2021, he took a step back, but I felt like that's when the offense changed. Like, they changed the offense up because you get Kyler Murray out there. You can see those penalties killed him. This is how much I know penalties affect your grading for PFF. Look at that, 12 penalties, really 15 penalties if I'm not mistaken. 3 of them were kind of like declined. Like, you look at that, you're like, damn. So the Niners get another heavily penalized player returning, coming to their team. But if you can get I would take a 2017, 2020, 2022 year. If you can get a blend or an average of those 3 years, we'll see. And where did he play? I mean, the majority was on the left side. The last time he played on the right side is rookie season, which he didn't do too bad, in my opinion. He was better in run blocking, so that is key. Trust me, there's method to my madness when I do these shows. All right, but that's where he played majority of the right tackle position, and I'm just curious to think that maybe this is a piece that Chris Forrester likes. He likes these type of guys. He likes these project guys that have versatility in their game and can move off the ball when it's hiked and get out to that second tier level. I know one thing. We might be talking about protection for Brock Purdy, but I know one thing, that the 49ers are going to be looking to run the damn ball. Like that, looking to run the ball. Here's what I didn't mention. 33 5/8-inch arms. So not your, 30, that's good. That's a good length to play tackle in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Brian? Ty, what's good, baby? Big Daddy Niners and the Mother Loving House. I did that because I said Mother Loving, you know what I mean? But thank you. Rob D says, too old to be a project. I don't think it's a project. I think you're getting a product, and we're going to see how he handles the speed of the 49ers offense. And if his knee is good, what if he pans out? You know what I mean? If the knee is good, what if he pans out? And let's do the compare and contrast thing. I'm not going to pull up 2 different screens, but let's just look at what this young gentleman did. We're not going to go off of last year, but let's go off his best year. His best year, let's go from 2020. All right, I'll try to keep this highlighted. He gave up 3 sacks that year, 2 hits, 18 pressures. All right, but he had a 90 run blocking grade and almost an 80 pass blocking grade. His best pass blocking grade came in 2022, but he played a less amount of snaps. All right, now this was all at the left tackle. This is protecting the blind side of the quarterback. I believe their quarterback, mobile quarterback, and having a guy like Kyler Murray. Brock Purdy is more of a pocket passer that will move if he has to. That's why I kind of like him, if you can kind of like get him on the right side. And there's a potential where he can be competing literally for like the swing tackle position, because the question is, who's going to be that swing offensive lineman for the Niners? Will it be him? Will it be Pleasance? Would it be who did I read as the tackles? It could be him. It could be Pleasance. It can be it could be him or it could be Pleasance. I feel like for that swing tackle position. And, you got Spencer Burford who can play tackle as well. So that's another guy. So that's going to be the question. But just looking at it, penalties, obviously high. But the pressures, that's all I care about. Like, how many pressures did he allow? 33. He's given up 33 sacks in his career, but he's played the longest. So what I'll do is let's go. Let me pull up a screen because I want to compare him to Colton McKivitz because I want to see if the Niners got better. Like, you bring in this guy who was a former first-round pick, and does he add value to the offensive line up front for the San Francisco 49ers? I think that's going to be the key question. Like, does he add some type of value to the San Francisco 49ers up front? And that's going to be tough. I think it's going to be tough to see if he does do that. And just looking at McKivitz has been in the league since 2020. All right, so I got him one side. You guys are still watching DJ Humphries stats. So just looking at that 2020 to 2024, and in 2020, he was well in. So I'm not going to go off that 2020 year. I got to go off the year McKivitz started playing the most snaps. So I got to go off his best year, which was 2024. So in 2024, Colton McKivitz gave up a total of 36 pressures. 36 pressures in 2024, and the most pressures this young gentleman, DJ Humphries, gave up was 33 in 2020, but didn't finish as well. So let's look at Colton McKivitz. I think we're done with DJ Humphries. If he pans out, the injury situation pans out, that's great for the San Francisco 49ers because now they're going to get an experienced tackle in here, and I think that's kind of what Chris Forrester wants. But Colton McKivitz, I feel, isn't as bad as we think. I don't think he's great in run blocking. I think the Niners, and there's a poll question going on. I'm looking at the poll question. I think the Niners are more of a run first team. I think they predicate their offense based off of play action pass, boot actions, and all those type of things. But when they can't successfully run the ball, they can't successfully throw. When they have to be a drop back pass team and the teams know that they're not as effective, in my opinion, in the run game, I think that's where the 49ers start to struggle up front. And then the passing game, they're playing defense. They're playing pass defense. So, of course, Brock Purdy's going to struggle. They're playing pass. Like, there's no deception of the run game. They're not playing the run. They're just dropping 8 to 9. They're just dropping everybody back into pass coverage. You know what I mean? It's just football, right? So you got to bring back the run game, and I feel like the Niners offense hasn't ran the ball since the exodus of Mike McGlinchey as well. Look, don't get it twisted. Christian McCaffrey had a phenomenal season, but a lot of those were on Christian McCaffrey. I don't think it was the blocking up front. Like, it was the blocking downfield. You know what I mean? I think Christian McCaffrey made a lot happen, henceforth the injuries. But I think you got to get better up front with run blocking, because it will enhance, to me, what the Niners are trying to do in the passing game. I'm just my theory, my thought. I'm cool with being wrong. All right, let's look at Colton McKivitz. All right, Colton McKivitz. Going at Colton McKivitz. All right, 5th round pick for the San Francisco 49ers, pick 153. They get themselves an offensive lineman, 6'6", 301. I think he moves a lot better. I think but for some reason, this run blocking is where I really need to see him improve, throughout his career. 2022, he didn't play a lot of snaps. So, you're looking at run blocking, and it's just not his thing. He's a pass protector, in my opinion. Like, if you want to know where he's really great at, he's not getting bull rushed. He gets beat off the edge with speed. That's where he gets beat. Gets beat off the edge with speed, but as a pass protector, he's pretty damn solid out there, in my opinion. But go to that last season; he had his best season, 72.2 grade. Played 1,062 snaps. I think might be the second most snaps for an offensive lineman. Oh, let's do a quick question. Cole McKivitz, 1,062 snaps. Who had more snaps than Colton McKivitz? I'm not going to give you any multiple choice, but which 49ers offensive lineman played more offensive snaps than Colton McKivitz? Put your answers in the mother freaking chat. Let's get this popping, baby. Who played the most snaps as an offensive lineman for the San Francisco 49ers? Dominic Pooney. All right, we got 2 Poonies. Any other questions? Any other guesses out there? Like, you know what I mean? Before I tell you the right answer, Eric Dane says Dominic Pooney, and the answer, ding, 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 Dominic Pooney played the most snaps for the San Francisco 49ers offensive line, 1,078 snaps. He finished with an 80.5 offensive grade, and you know where he struggled the most? Run blocking. I'm expecting Dominic Pooney to come out here and be a much better run blocker in this wide zone scheme of an offense, right? Because that's what we like to run, the outside zone. I think now that he has a hold of what's going on, he's going to be a lot better. 422 run blocking snaps, 656 pass blocking snaps. He finished with an 81.5 pass blocking grade, but a 68.9 run blocking grade. When he was drafted, I remember talking about him struggling early in run blocking. And no, we saw some immaculate run blocks by this gentleman. Don't get it twisted, but it wasn't consistent. And I think this year, if he can improve in any area, Dominic Pooney and the run blocking game would make this 49ers offense that much better. But I think it also comes with having a good right tackle that can run block as well. Like, Dominic Pooney is picking up other guys that I feel like aren't even his guys when it comes to certain protections, unless they're sliding or doing whatever. But I feel like this year he'll have a much better wit of what to do out there on the football field. I thought he had a phenomenal rookie season, Dominic Pooney. I give it up to Pooney. Phenomenal rookie season. We got more members in the chat that I did not shout out. Felicia's in the building. Boats, I see you in the building as well. Thank you guys for being members. Appreciate you. All right. So look, the Niners, in my opinion, I think are solid when it comes to protecting Brock Purdy. Now, a lot of it's on Brock. I'm not going to lie. A lot of it's on Brock. Brock can escape. Brock can move. But I think the 49ers offensive line, when it comes to protecting Brock Purdy, is silent. I mean, it's not silent. It's good. Like, not good, but it's solid. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like it's not as bad as it appears. Even as bad as Jake Brendel is, it's not as bad as it appears. 49ers offensive line, talking out loud. You know, when I was doing my research on this offensive line, per PFF, you're not going to believe this. I'm telling you, because it looked different. Us watching it looks totally different. But I think we watch it single game, blah, 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 blah. And then that just makes the wrong imprint in our memory because we're like remembering a lot of stuff. Per PFF, the San Francisco 49ers offensive line in run blocking ranked 3rd, which is weird to me because I thought they were not great in run blocking. Their pass protection was ranked 11th. Ladies and gents, the numbers don't lie, and I know what we see on film, but I think there's a lot more that goes into why certain things don't work, especially, offensively. Why the run didn't get a big gain, why the pass was slightly off. Like, I just think there's a lot that goes into it that we don't take into context. But statistically, that's not bad. Right? 3rd in run blocking, 11th in pass blocking. I just showed you, like, the Niners had probably some of the worst pass protectors with grades. I mean, the highest graded pass protector for the 49ers was Trent Williams. And he didn't even play in every game. And then after that, he was an 80. And then after that, it was like a drop to 70. Colt McKivitz would be next. And that's pass blocking, right? Like, dang. Like, Wow. So they brought back. All right. So 84.5 for Trent. Nick Zakel, he only played in 162 snaps, but he had a 77.7. Ben Barch played in only 65 snaps, but he had a 74. So I'm going with the guys that played in a lot more snaps. That's why I say Colton McKivitz would be next. He had a 72.8. Jalen Moore, only 271 snaps, but he had a 73.3. But I was going with guys that kind of played the majority of the offensive line. You played 500 snaps and more. To me, you were that guy out there. So Trent Williams, 649 snaps, 84.5. I'll take it. But he did give up 17 pressures, just 1 sack. And you like I'm telling you, like from pass blocking perspective. Oh, I got one more question for you about the offensive line. I promise I'll be done with the offensive line. Which offensive lineman, starting offensive lineman, I'll put that in there. Which starting offensive lineman gave up the most sacks? I'm not going to give you any choices. Shout out to Matthew. What's going on, baby? Morning to you as well. Which starting offensive lineman, and don't look it up, please. Which starting offensive lineman gave up the most sacks? And shout out again to everybody out there. Wake up, baby. Foghorn for you. The 49ers are definitely in the building. Which offensive lineman gave up the most sacks? All right, I see a Ben Barch out there from my man ED. Ben Barch. I'll let you know when I get the right answer. Trust me, even when you put the right answer in there, you're not going to know if that's the right answer. We only got one guess. Ben Barch, Colton McKivitz from my man Boats. Jake Brendo from my man Collie. Keep it moving, baby. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Let's keep it going. I'm not telling you when you get the right answer. You got 2 for Brendo. You know when I get that 3 mark, I hit the ding, 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 ding. You know what I'm saying? Oscar, Jake Brendo. I love it. Oh, dang. Felicia. James Johnson, the second. Dominic Pooney. Felicia. Brendo. I'm going to hit the ding, 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 ding. The answer is Dominic Pooney. Give my man James Johnson some love out there, baby. You know? Pooney gave up the most sacks. You'll never believe it, man. And listen, guys, I'm not taking shots at our guys. I'm just talking about areas in which I feel like the Niners can improve. They can be better in. I mean, Dominic Pooney, to me, was the best offensive lineman on the 49ers, minus Trent Williams, who didn't play a lot, right? But as far as sacks, Dominic Pooney gave up 3 sacks. Colton McKivitz gave up 2 sacks. And then you had a lot of 1 sack guys. Pause. That sound nasty. Guys that gave up 1 sack. That sounds even more nastier. My bad. Shout out to my brother KP, Kevin Parker in the building. What's going on, baby? You know what I'm saying? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. So, yeah, Dominic Pooney, he gave up 3 sacks. All right, poll question. I want to get to these results, and I want to get to what do the 49ers value more, run blocking or pass blocking? And 91%, I'm going to end this poll, 91% of you guys said run blocking. Interesting. Which I can't help but to agree with. That's why I think the protection for Brock is going to be super solid this year, because the Niners are going to run the ball better. And when they run the ball better, the pass protection is going to get better by default. Brock Purdy dropped back several more times than I wanted him to drop back in passing last year. Like, you know what I mean? Like, too many dropbacks for Brock Purdy to my liking. And so, like, looking at Colton McKivitz, let me pull up Brock Purdy. I just felt like let's look at Brock, because Brock does sometimes enable the sacks, and then sometimes he avoids the sacks. Let's just keep it a buck. Like, that's what Brock Purdy does. All right. So this is why the Niners are going to pay Brock Purdy. Like the kid took on a team at a very young age. All right. And commanded troops. 537 dropbacks for Brock Purdy last year, which is a little bit more than what he did in 2023. Obviously, 2022 didn't play the full year. But that's a lot. That's a lot of extra dropbacks. I feel like you could keep that dropback number to under 5 and do more with the run. That would be kind of cool. Not Brock Purdy running, but But a lot of the sacks, though, a reason why you guys thought maybe like guys had more sacks because some of those sacks weren't on the offensive lineman. It was Brock Purdy holding on to the ball, trying to make a play, trying to run, not getting back to the line of scrimmage, trying to run, getting out of bounds, not to the line of scrimmage. So those count as sacks. Those aren't on the offensive line. So that's why if you said certain players and they didn't get credited for the sack. I did like what I saw from Brock, almost 4,000 yards last year. If you guys say that pass blocking, there were one outside the top 10 in pass blocking. Would you consider that shitty? Like let's have the grown up conversation. Can it be better? Yes. But what would you consider that? 11th ranked pass blocking. What would you guys consider that as? Can it room for improvement? That's me. I'm room for improvement. They can improve. They can stay. They weren't bad overall. Maybe top 11 out of 32. It's not bad. It's not even average. They're not even in the middle. They were higher in the middle. 4 spots, 5 spots, 16 teams, 32 teams divided by 2. So I don't know. Like, and that, again, that's per PFF. You take it with a grain of salt. But again, I think the offensive line can stand to be better, but I think consistency is the key. I think consistency and continuity. Let's use those 2 words. We'll end the show on those 2 words. Consistency, being out there, continuity, being out there with the same people. Now, I think people don't realize that as an offensive lineman, they have to be able to communicate, which is the 3rd C, without talking, literally. Without using their mouth, without using their words, they have to be able to communicate. That's why I'm very hard, in my opinion, on Jake Brendel. And I'm not saying he doesn't do that, but he has to do a better job at communicating because he really, for the San Francisco 49ers, he dictates and controls the offensive line. He's responsible for the protections and the slides to the right and the mats protection and the slides to the lefts. He's responsible for knowing what that defensive front is showing so that Brock Purdy can get out there and manage the right play, call the right play, change the right play, go to that second play. Yes, I want my quarterback doing it, but when you put the responsibility on the center, that's what Kyle usually predicates his offense off. The center is usually the guy out there. You go back to Alex Mack when the Niners offense looked really good. They were moving the ball really good. I mean, he was just overall a better player, but I just thought he really understood the protections. Now, look, I think Jake Brendel, if he can get better in any area, minus the penalties. One is the penalties. He led team. If he can get, he's got to get better at really understanding what's going on out there defensively, so that he can make sure that his brothers up front, the other 4 guys, are just set and blocking properly, blocking down, blocking slanting. Because that's what it comes down to. It's just those little bitty things. In my opinion, it's just those little bitty things. In my opinion, you know what I mean. So I feel like the 49ers offensive line, if they could get better just in that area, and you're getting another year out of Jake Brendel, so that's consistency. Hopefully he's healthy. The reports came out that he was unhealthy. He was dealing with knee injuries, blah, 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 whatever. So hopefully he's healthy. We were watching him work out this offseason, so that's great. We're watching him run, so that's even better, right? And then you look at the right side. So let's go Jake Brendel to the right side, and then we'll go Jake Brendel to the left side, all right? And when you look at the right side, I think Dominic Pooney's a strong anchor out there. And I talked about where he can improve in his run blocking. I think that can be better. I think Colton McKivitz can be better in run blocking as well, right? I feel like run blocking, they need to improve on, even though they were ranked 3rd in run blocking. I think a lot of that had to do with the running backs. I mean, Jordan Mason was literally just running over everybody. And then you got big plays from your other guys. Isaac Guerrero, Patrick Taylor had a big game, the last game of the season, right? I really think a lot of that was on the running backs, right? I want it to be less on the running back. Yeah, I want them to have the ability to do certain things, but if you get a better run blocking offensive line, the wear and tear on the running backs will be less. So, that's just kind of like how my vision, I see it. But they were ranked 3rd in run block. I can't even be mad. God dang, they were ranked 3rd. What the I didn't even expect that to be a number. Thought the Niners offensive line wasn't ranked good at all. So 3rd in run blocking, they finished 2024, and 11th in pass blocking. Henceforth, the Niners, this upcoming draft. Are you ready? They drafted one offensive lineman, and his name was Connor Colby. Round of applause for that young man. Now, the reason why I'm high on this kid is because during my draft processing, I was breaking him down, and I was like, yo, this kid, I gave him a 3rd-round grade. I think John Chapman gave him a 4th-round grade. I never in my life saw this kid slipping to the 7th round. But then I also realized, he's a schematic fit for certain teams. Now, a lot of teams in the NFL, Miami Dolphins, I'm just thinking of the teams that the Rams, like that run that outside zone type thing. Perfect fit for the outside zone. And so, again, the Niners are enhancing their run blocking. DJ Humphries, run blocker. Connor Colby, run blocker. It just seems like run blocking is the emphasis of the 49ers offensive line going into 2025. I just feel like that's the heavy emphasis of going into 2025. All right, let me get to some of these chats, comments in the chat, man, and let me know what you guys think. So for sure, at the end of the show, Wayne, hear me out. This tells you that CMC and Ayuk was missed 1,000%, bro. I miss him now. Like I'm excited that Brandon Ayuk is pushing to come back. I'm excited that CMC is looking stronger than ever. Have you seen Christian McCaffrey? It looked like all he was able to do was lift weights. Like the dude, if we thought he looked like a robot before, he looked like a chiseled robot right now. Like, you know what I mean? And so I feel like when these two guys come back, of course they're going to help enhance what the 49ers are trying to do. And I also hope Bobby Turner, because I really believe, I don't think he gets enough, what's the word? We blame Kyle for everything, which is fine. He's the head coach. But I don't think we put any blame on Bobby Turner. Like, we got to forget that Bobby is responsible for the running backs. I don't know if we really, he is the one that decides who go in and who doesn't go in. It's not Kyle Shanahan. These are Bobby's guys. And with Jordan Mason no longer being here, he was not a Bobby guy. I'm hoping what we see out there from the running backs is more trust from the running backs coach. You feel me? So I'm hoping we see that, Bobby, Isaac Guerrero is a Bobby guy. Because remember, Bobby took that break. We had Anthony Lynn, and then Anthony Lynn came in. He drafted, he didn't draft. He wanted Jordan Mason, the undrafted guy. That was his guy. I remember him being an assistant coach and him being tied and coaching up Jordan Mason. That's why I like the Jordan James pick, because I think Bobby liked what he liked in Jordan Mason was his what's the word I use? He's a bully. He liked it. He liked that aggressiveness as a running back. But I think what Jordan Mason's struggle was in pass protection and catching the ball out of the backfield. I think those were the two weakest links of Jordan Mason. And it could be we just didn't throw in the ball enough. I don't know. So I'm not trying to take shots at my boy JP. I just feel like, congratulations to him. He earned himself a contract after the trade. Like he earned himself a contract with the Niners, but like he's down with the Minnesota Vikings, and I think he's gonna win that starting job. I really do, depending on what they value out there for what they want their running backs to be. But my point is, drafting Jordan James in the 5th round this year, you're gonna get that still aggressive style of running. Probably needs work in pass protection, but overall, man, you could throw him the ball at the backfield. That kid can run routes. So it's gonna be fun to watch the running backs as well, which we'll be breaking down all off season. I can't wait to see, stuff being, when we get the videos and stuff from camp and stuff like that. It's gonna be fun. OTA is gonna be fun too. Matthew says, I want to see perfectly thrown football being caught. I don't think you're gonna get that here. I know what you mean is you want the offensive line to protect and you want to see that perfect football. We'll get it in practice because they don't go as hard. But once the pads are on, man, these defenses, man, they are savages, man. They are savages. And yeah, I want the offensive line to protect up front as well. I'm not gonna lie. But I don't think Brock Purdy throws some dimes. He does throw some dimes. So he'll throw perfect footballs here or there, but they won't be consistent. As long as in my opinion, all I want Brock to do, make the right play and throw a football that you guys can catch. Don't throw hospital balls, which he's not notorious for. He doesn't do rare right? Just give the guys a chance to catch in their catch radius. That's kind of where I am with that. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I am with that. So Matthew, I appreciate that comment as well. Boat says, when did we sign DJ Humphries? It was yesterday because it was George Kittle Day, and and then later on today was DJ Humphries Day, right? And so that's kind of like how it's panning out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was the signing. Jack says CMC is thick as ever. Okay, well, all right. Yep, I didn't want to read that, but you're a member, so I take care of my members. Here's a question from Jax though. Wayne, do you think Kyle will allow players to play at their their strengths? My thing with Kyle is, it's like yes and no. I think when you go into a football game and when you play for Kyle Shanahan, you better have several strengths. I don't think he caters to your strengths. I think he gets wowed by a strength that he might have missed. You know what I mean? But when he all right. So for example, let's talk about running back Isaac Guerrero, right? What is Isaac Guerrero known for? Explosive plays. I think Kyle's expecting explosive play every time he runs the football, but his weakness is reading the defense and knowing when to cut in or cut out. Like, that's his weakness. And I think that'll get better. So when he designs a play, I feel like Kyle's designing the play. All right, man, if you block down and you block here, blah, 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 we're going to get that explosive play when he goes into the game. But that's not how football is. You don't design plays to be explosive. So that's a strength of his, but it's not going to always result on the football field depending on how the play is ran, executed. That's the word I'm looking for, as well as how these defenses come out and they prepare for it. Oh, he's an explosive guy. Let's take away the outside. Don't give him the edge, right? Force him to cut back inside and make him make a guy miss. So I don't think Kyle really plays to the strengths of players, because I just feel like that ain't Kyle Shanahan. Like, for a better example than Isaac Guerrero, Deebo Samuel, all right? I know he's no longer here, but you guys know he's one of my favorite players. We know what his strengths were. You knew, I know, we knew. We knew what the strengths were. But why didn't Kyle utilize his strengths? Why were we sending him downfield 25 yards in the Super Bowl? Or why are we not utilizing his strengths? Why are we not giving him the ball underneath to where he can make a play or make a guy miss or run over a guy or whatever? Why not utilize the strengths? Like, especially in the Super Bowl. That was 2 times, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. I'm not right. This is an opinion. And this is for everybody. It's not just for Jax, but my opinion, 2 times, I felt like Deebo Samuel was misutilized in the Super Bowl. Misutilized meaning used wrong, if that's even a word. Used wrong. He was used wrong. I felt like in the first Super Bowl in 2019, when we played the Chiefs, we were using him more as a running back because we couldn't really get off whatever, cool. And then all of a sudden we stopped. We stopped giving him the ball on those quick throw routes, putting the ball in his hand. He was a dynamic kind of like playmaker, and we kind of like took that away from him. They couldn't stop him. They couldn't even stop the run. Period. They couldn't stop the run, period. It didn't matter who was running the ball. And then we went away from that. We went past happy, and look how it ended up. In his last Super Bowl, Deebo Samuel was damn near the red zone target, down the field guy. Like, what? No. What? And then you go back to this year, no Brandon Ayuk. They trusted Deebo, and they went with Deebo, and it just didn't work. And I'm not saying Deebo's not a great wide receiver or a good wide receiver or whatever you want to put in front of it. I'm just saying you didn't utilize him to his strengths. And so Kyle just, I don't get it. I don't get it. Kyle leaves me scratching my damn head 98% of the time. Not 99. It's 2% where I'm like, yeah. And it's 98% of the time, but like, what in the freak? You know what I'm saying? Like Eric says, yeah, Deebo had more targets in the Super Bowl than Kittle and Ayuk combined. Like, make it make sense. Now, I'm cool. Those targets were underneath routes, and you're giving him the ball. But those targets were heavily defended by all pros. And I'm not saying Deebo's not an all pro, but we all know He's not the guy with the crazy wingspan. He's not the guy that jumps up and catches those passes. No, that's never been Debo. Debo is, give me the ball, Kyle. Remember when Debo was like, yo, Kyle, just give me the damn ball. And he made a play. Was that against the Rams? Can't remember who it was against. That's Debo. He's a playmaker. But when you force him to be that wide receiver because you don't trust anybody else, it doesn't work out. So I don't think Kyle Shanahan utilizes his players to their strengths. I don't. And then again, I feel like they don't use the fan favorite Jawan Jennings to his strengths. Jawan Jennings, due to circumstances, had to be an outside guy. And the reason why I'm talking about wide receivers is because this is Kyle's position. Like, this is the position he covets, right? He's always a wide receiver by nature. That's the position he played. This is his thing. I don't even know who our wide receiving coach is. I don't think it matters, right? It's Kyle Shanahan. If you bump heads with Kyle Shanahan as a wide receiving coach, your ass is fired. I think Wes Welker was like, when Debo was here with Wes Welker, Debo was the man. Fire Wes Welker, Debo becomes not the man. I'll leave it at that. Anyway, back to what I'm saying. Kyle Shanahan doesn't even use the great Jawan Jennings to his strengths because he needed him to be that outside guy because he did not trust everybody else. Jawan Jennings can go down as one of the greatest slot receivers literally of all time. I mean, the guy is built 6'4" frame. Speed doesn't matter in the slot for him because you just throw the ball up as he's running. He catches it, makes the guy miss. That's a missed tackle forced. And then he somehow has football speed. Jawan Jennings has got to be the slowest 40 wide receiver that we've had, but not on the football field. Football speed is fast. It's like, oh, shoot, he learned how to run faster. Nah, he plays football faster. Jawan Jennings is a force. And he's a great outside X guy. But, man, him as a wide guy in a slot, yeah, sign me up. That's third and Jawan. Where is he lined up? In the slot. Who you going to put on him? Well, safeties can't cover him. They too tiny. Linebackers, too tiny. This guy's big and physical. So, I don't even think we utilize him right, to their strength. That's the question you asked. And maybe we get better. Maybe we get better. Maybe we get better. Thank you, James. Lance Hankerson. I knew you guys knew. I didn't care. My point was, I don't think he matters. Sorry, Lance. I don't think he matters, though. I think Kyle matters. I think Kyle, that's his position. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see more Kyle Shanahan now that he got his defense intact with Robert Saleh back. And stuff like that. I wouldn't be surprised you see Kyle more in the wide receiver room this year. I wasn't going to say this, but I can't ignore it. I would be a terrible host. I'd be a terrible person if I ignored, messages, especially from the Breezy Brunch crew. Mark, we didn't even use Trey Lance right. Well, somebody finally, I can't figure out. Now, I'm not going to go back, man. I'm going to go down and say that was the worst pick in 49ers. Kyle Shanahan's 49ers history. It's the worst pick. You gave up way too much draft capital, and then you didn't utilize him right. Feel like a homer moment right there. I'm going to leave it at that, though. I'm leave it at that. I'm not even going to dig into it. But damn it, think about it. You wanted a kid with a big arm. You wanted a kid that can utilize the field. You drafted Trey Lance. He comes from a pro style, and then now you're designing quarterback runs. And no. Line him up under the center, give him play action passes, and watch him cook. Duh. Did we do that with Trey Lance? Nope. Shotgun. Nope. Shotgun. Quarterback read. Power, quarterback power. I mean, the motherfucker got hurt. I'm not going to say Kyle Shanahan got him hurt, but he got hurt on a quarterback power run. He pulled the ball down, ran. Got snapped back from his own lineman because one big defender. Never mind. I'm just saying that I don't think that the 49ers are Kyle Shanahan. Jax, that was a banging question. I just don't think that the Niners utilize certain players right. I think Kyle has favorites, and I think he rocks with those guys. But here's what I like about this year. I think a lot of those favorites are gone. I think you got your pillars, George Kittle. I'm just going to focus on the offense. You got your pillars, George Kittle, And I'll focus on the playmakers. Kyle Juszczyk, I feel like he's a pillar. For some reason, they want to keep him around. And I'm not saying that to be negative, but he's a pillar. Like, he could do multiple things for the 49ers offense. Wait a minute. The most underutilized player in 49ers Kyle Shanahan history is Kyle Juszczyk. What the freak? How do we not think about Kyle Juszczyk? Most underutilized player. This dude, if he played for any other team, would probably be the leading receiver on their team. This guy could get open, and he got athleticism through the roof. Bro, you just throw the ball in this vicinity, he's gonna come down with it. 1-on-1, I got it, coach. Ball tracking, got it, coach. We don't use him. We don't use him. Kyle Juszczyk, underutilized, in my opinion. These are all my opinions. Don't take a word, grain of salt, in my opinion. I just know if I'm paying him $1 or $1,000 or $1 million, I'm gonna use him. Okay, this dude is a mismatch nightmare. He's not a great running back. He's a great weapon. Man, if I was Kyle Shanahan, I would be utilizing these skill set players as weapons and what they are and what they can do in mismatches. And I know you want him in there block. He's a great blocker. I got you, coach. But sometimes, man, that's why I think that the offensive line, another year together of continuity. They didn't add too many crazy new pieces. They're looking to develop, just to get back to the beginning of the show. They're looking to develop some of the players that they've already drafted that's been here. Continuity again. Hopefully they build that consistency now, and the communication is strong. I think Chris Forster is going to have a year where he produces 3 Pro Bowl offensive linemen. Can you guess the 3? I don't know, but leave the 3 in the comment section as we end the show. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the super chat contribution. Shout out to all the Breezy Bunch crew. One more time, the Breezy Bunch crew in the building. Peachy says thank you to all the new people in the chat. Guys, if you're new and I ain't seen your name before, man, mother freaking subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? If you want me to shout out your name, go ahead and become a member of the Breezy Bunch crew by clicking join, and then I'll know, because your name will pop up in a nice, cool color for me to be like, oh, somebody's new. Now, I appreciate you guys for sure, man. Appreciate everybody. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I think the offensive line, just in closing, I think the offensive line can stand to be better, but I'm willing to give it that chance of showing that they're going to improve this offseason. Right? Didn't add too many new pieces. Did address offensive line and free agency. You did address the offensive line in the draft. You brought back guys that you were familiar with, Ben Barch, Austin Pleasance, right? You brought back those guys. And now it's time to see if Chris Forster can develop talent as well. I think everybody, every coach that's here needs to show me that they can develop some talent. It ain't always about getting the cream of the crop. It's also about what you do with the crop when you get it. Can you turn it into cream? I don't know. What the hell does cream of the crop even mean? I don't know. I know what it means, but like, where do we get that from? No damn cream corn in the crop field. What are we talking about? Anyway, my point is, I think we're going to see a surge in this 49ers offensive front, because I think they're going to attack defenses differently. You secure Brock Purdy, you lock him in, you know he's the guy of the future, and I think the offensive line is going to play that much greater. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Keep it faithful to the Bay. Love y'all, man. Peace.
What's up, faithful? Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and make sure you check out some of the other cool videos.